What's up, PhinsTalk family? What's up, NFL fans? What's up, Dolphin Nation? In today's video, the Dolphins officially have hired their defensive coordinator, and it is Sean Duggan, the linebackers coach, the former linebackers coach of the Green Bay Packers. So Jeff Hafley has rounded out his staff pretty much. I'm going to go ahead and read to you an article, and then I'm going to go ahead and discuss some information, because this affects the Dolphins doubly. Dolphins hiring Packers Sean Duggan as their defensive coordinator. This was written by David Furones of the Sun Sentinel. The lengthy wait for the Miami defensive coordinator hire is now complete. The Dolphins are moving forward with Green Bay Packers linebackers coach Sean Duggan for the job, according to a league source Sunday afternoon. The news came minutes after Arizona decided on Los Angeles Rams offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur to be the next head coach, rounding out the 2026 hiring cycle. Head coaching jobs. The LaFleur hire occurred about an hour after the Las Vegas Raiders chose Seattle Seahawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak to lead them, with the Cardinals opting against hiring former defensive coordinator, Miami Dolphins former defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver, who was a finalist for the job. Miami will not receive compensatory third-round picks in the next two drafts for having a minority assistant leaving for a head role elsewhere, but it allowed the Dolphins to move forward with Duggan, 32, who has long-standing ties with Dolphins head coach Jeff Hafley. Duggan was most recently linebackers coach last season while Hafley was defensive coordinator with the Green Bay Packers. He followed him from Green Bay in 2024 as a defensive assistant. After being with Boston College for 4 years, Hafley was head coach there. Duggan was the linebackers coach at BC from 2020 to 2023, while adding co-defensive coordinator to his title his last season in Chestnut Hill. Also, ABC alum, where he played linebacker from 2011 until 2014, Duggan was the first with Hafley at Ohio State in 2019 as a graduate assistant. Hafley, who has a defensive background, said he will call defensive plays for the Dolphins, so Duggan's role as defensive coordinator will be somewhat limited. The Duggan news finally surfaced after initial Wisconsin-based reports a week ago that he was leaving the Packers and following Hafley. In the meantime, the Dolphins have agreed to terms with lower-level defensive assistants, including defensive back coach Ryan Downward and cornerback coach Jamil Adid and linebackers coach Al Washington. Hafley has filled in most of his staff. Earlier Sunday, the Dolphins agreed to bring on Georgia Tech linebackers coach Darius Eubanks as assistant special teams coach under special teams. Guys, again, it's a double whammy for the Dolphins because former defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver was not selected for the job with Arizona or the Las Vegas Raiders, which means they will not receive compensatory picks, third-round compensatory picks for him receiving a head coaching job. And again, Duggan will be entitled the defensive coordinator of our Miami Dolphins. He'll be helping game plan throughout the week with Jeff Hafley for our opponent's offense, but he won't actually call the plays, defensive plays for our Miami Dolphins. That's what's going on. Again, the two people that got head coaching jobs in terms of Arizona and the Las Vegas Raiders. Weaver, again, did not receive that position. That went to Mike LaFleur, the OC of the Los Angeles Rams. And the Las Vegas Raiders went with my second choice to be the Miami Dolphins' original head coach, Clint Kubiak is now the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders after the Super Bowl. It's a double whammy because the Dolphins get hurt. Where will Anthony Weaver end up? I can see him going back to Baltimore, maybe, under new head coach Minter, or going somewhere else, maybe going back to Houston, or going somewhere else where he can be a defensive coordinator. Now, I'll keep you posted where he ends up. Hopefully he gets another defensive coordinator position, even though he's been okay as a defensive coordinator. He hasn't been great. He was good with the Dolphins when he had a lot of veterans, but this year that there were a bunch of rookies, took him about 6 to 8 games to get the defense rolling. We'll see what happens with that. But leave me your thoughts down in the comments about the hiring of Sean Duggan as defensive coordinator. Where do you think Anthony Weaver will end up? Will he be a defensive coordinator or defensive line coach? Let me know, where do you believe he will end up as some type of defensive position? Or will Anthony Weaver not receive any type of job in the NFL going into 2026? Leave me your thoughts down below about everything that's going on with the Miami Dolphins, the Sean Duggan hiring, the lower level assistants officially hired, and I appreciate your support. Like always, stay positive, stay on your grind, and go Dolphins.